shook hands. Now they've shaken hands again. What do you foresee going forward? All right. We'll come back to Ambassador Shankar because we're keen to know what she feels about it. Some technical issues, they keep happening. We'll come back to this. And the SCO Summit is currently going on. For anyone who's just tuning in, the Indian Prime Minister is in China. It's the first visit of the Indian Prime Minister to China in 7 years. A big step forward for both countries to come together, India and China. Enough tensions have prevailed since 2020, since Galwan, but now things seem to be on the mend. Let's shift focus to Brazil for now. As per reports, Brazil is calling for an emergency BRICS summit, and it is alarmed by the United States' rising trade barriers and global actions that threaten multipolarity. Tariffs of up to 50% have been imposed on imports from both Brazil and India, jeopardizing key sectors and diplomatic ties. Now, Brazil reportedly is now seeking to rally BRICS leaders for an urgent meeting, aiming to counter US-driven disruption and to defend a more balanced world order. The ongoing Shanghai Cooperation Organization, the SCO Summit, it offers a tense backdrop with Russia, China and India all navigating a climate of increased tension with Washington, especially owing to the tariffs which have come from Trump. US relations with these global powers are being hampered by the sanctions, by the tariffs and fierce policy disagreements. As Brazil pushes for a united BRICS response, geopolitical fault lines are only widening. Emerging powers now gather, seeking to shape a more inclusive and resilient system, one that challenges singular dominance and strives for genuine multipolar balance. Now, the original BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India and China, BRIC as they held their first summit in 2009. 8 years after former Goldman Sachs economist Jim O'Neill coined the acronym for this group of emerging economies, he said would challenge the G7 group of rich countries in the future. South Africa became the S in that BRICS grouping. That happened 2 years later, and the club now comprises of 11 countries, and that includes, apart from the BRICS, it also includes Indonesia, Iran and Saudi Arabia, as well as a further 9 partner countries, including Malaysia, Nigeria and Thailand. Anti-asylum protests continue to disrupt the socio-political landscape of the United Kingdom. British police arrested 5 people at a latest protest in London, where a group of masked men attempted to enter a hotel housing asylum seekers. Now, according to London's Metropolitan Police Force, 2 groups of anti-asylum protesters, they marched to the Crown Plaza Hotel near Heathrow Airport before some demonstrators even tried to break in. 2 police officers have suffered minor injuries in this incident, and this comes just a day after the British government won a court ruling that will prevent asylum seekers from being evicted from the hotels, which is at the center of most of these anti-asylum demonstrations. Just last week, the court mandated the removal of asylum seekers from the Bell Hotel in Epping after a 32-year-old Syrian national named Mohammed Sharwark, who resided at this hotel. He was charged with sexual assault. And this protest follows a series of confrontations, most recently in Epping and Liverpool, where large numbers of anti-immigration protesters and counter-protesters faced off in the city centre, with police forced to step in to keep the two sides apart. A stark sign of mounting tensions over immigration.
Refugees are welcome here. Refugees are welcome here.
Now, as per media reports, concerns about immigration have only been rising to the top of the political agenda in Britain after an increase in migrants using small boats to reach the country. According to government figures, more than 32,000 migrants were being housed in around 200 hotels across the country at the end of June. A recent YouGov poll for The Times found that 71% of voters believe that the Prime Minister is handling the asylum